Hello, my name's Paul of Golden Blaze Videos, hiking solo in the Great Smoky Mountains, heading to some of my favorite spots in the park. I'm on the Kephart Prong Trail, headed up to Mount Kephart. It's 7 miles, 3,500 feet, incredible views, so come on and let's hike. The Kephart shelter. It's about 2 miles in. There were some people there, so I didn't want to do a whole lot of videoing, but that's only 2 miles in. And anyways, already peeling some layers off. I think it's up to a balmy 45 degrees and I'm starting to sweat. I'm now on the Sweat Heifer Trail, and that'll take us up to the Appalachian Trail. And it's funny, my grandfather was a farmer, and he used to call my grandmother his little heifer for a term of endearment. But anyways, I always think about that when I cross this trail. I may not be a cow, but I'm definitely sweating. Whew. Everybody, this is David. I've been hiking with him a couple miles now on the Sweat Heifer, and when I first ran into him, he was yelling up the ridge and beating on trees. And what was the deal with that, David?
So I was coming around the corner all by my lonesome, and off to the side in the bushes I heard this real low growl.
Oh man.
And he's a big bad wolf or something. And as soon as I heard it, I started yelling. I started clapping my hands real loud.
I thought maybe you were just flipping out. You know, it is 2020.
Yeah, it's a new COVID sometimes. Yeah. I started blowing my whistle here, and I heard it run off. I picked up a stick.
Yeah, that's
and I
right.
started beating the trees with it as I was walking, and every time I would hit the tree, a piece of my stick would break off and fly away.
Oh, I thought maybe you're trying to call in Bigfoot or something. Anyways, been enjoying hiking with David. So it's been about an hour and a half, 5.7 miles, 3,000 feet. And here's the sign that Blair tried to tear down a couple of years ago. And I'll throw that up for a few laughs. Is that sweet heifer or sweat heifer?
It looks like a sweating heifer. Look here. You want to see a sweating heifer?
Did you lose your cow, man?
Yeah, I lost my horse.
I need some milk.
I'm telling you. Jeez.
Hey, you can't be destroying
What's wrong with this
national park property
I'm
there. I'm
stand
pretty
up.
sure that gets you in jail.
There. I'm not touching.
Back on the AT. Just said farewell to David. He's headed on to Kleeman's Dome. It's nice hiking with him. Our next stop is Mount Kephart and the jump off. Well, we made it to the top of Mount Kephart. It's like we're 3 hours in, 3,500 foot climb, 7,000 feet. Mount Kephart's right at 6,200 feet. Back over my shoulder, you can see Mount LeConte. But Kephart was named after Horace Kephart, who was instrumental in getting the park founded. He moved here to this area, I guess close to 100 years ago. Granny Farmer had loaned me his book, Our Southern Highlands, which is a real good read I would recommend. But it tells about how he came in to this area back before it was a park, and stories of his excursions and meeting the mountain people that lived in this region. And Charlie's Bunyan was named by him after one of his hiking companions, and we're headed there in a little bit. But coming up next is the jump off. There's not much of a view here at the top of Kephart, but the jump off is incredible. So if you come this way, just go a little bit further. Check in a minute. Wow, made it to the jump off. And let me tell you, this is everything I remembered it being. It's just spectacular. Let me turn this camera around so you can see what I'm seeing. So this is right at the edge And as you can see, we are at the top of a cliff. But let me bring this camera up and just show you this incredible view. This is looking down along the high ridge that the AT follows. You can see Charlie's Bunyan down there. That tall peak is Mount Guyot. And then panning across, starting to look over into Tennessee. And I wasn't expecting any color, but there's still a little bit of color on the trees. So looking down on Charlie's Bunyan, I can hear people. I don't know if we can see them in the video or not, but just to show you. So here's Ice Water Shelter. It is right off the AT because I'm standing on it. Oh, here's Ice Water Spring, and I'm glad to see it. I carried as little water as I had to coming up that Sweat Heifer. Looking back at Mount Kephart and the jump off where we were just a little while ago. Nice view of Mount LeConte. And we're on the trail that leads to Charlie's Bunyan, which is right there. A little ledge walk. There's the Bunyan. Thought this would make a nice place for a lunch break. Look at that beautiful view back over in North Carolina. Lunch is Captain Wafers, cheese, some lemonade, and the golden ticket. Spam singles. Great view over into North Carolina. That far ridge is the Plot Balsams. Just beyond that's Waynesville. And looking down into what I assume is the Oconaluftee Valley. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's just barely shining on this section of trail. Huge ridge shelters down that trail. That's also the trail I'll be taking on the way out tomorrow. Peak right there is Kephart, where we were just a few hours ago. Come quite a ways. Another rock slide area, pretty crazy. A little over 15 miles later, and here we are, Hughes Ridge Trail and Peck's Corner Shelter, Point 4. Leaving the AT and headed to the shelter. Good morning. Just left camp. It's about 6:30. This is day number 2. Stayed at Peck's Corner Shelter, but I actually slept in my tent, had a good night's rest. Not real cool this morning. Already in my short sleeves and leaving Hughes Ridge Trail. Now we're headed down Bradley Fork. Dropping elevation, starting to get into some leaves. Haven't fell yet. Okay, we've been 5 miles since camp, right at 2 hours, and now headed up Dry Sluice Gap Trail. There's Hughes Ridge where we came down this morning. We've gained enough elevation now that you can see the plot balsams again. That Bradford Fork Trail is pretty tough. 3 miles, 2,200 feet. It was just constant climb. Not too far from the Appalachian Trail, but we are headed back to the truck, 4.5 miles. What a pretty unexpected waterfall. All right, so we've made it back to Kephart Shelter. And it's about 2 more miles to the car. Great 28-mile loop. Highly recommend it. It is tough though, let me warn you. And hey, Blair, wish you was with me, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, subscribe and watch some more videos, and we'll be back on the trail soon. Thanks for watching.